Tonight's live stream is dedicated to Savage Trades brother Chad. So let's make sure that this one is a good one. Bitcoin. Very interesting move, huh? Should I say it? Should I? Nah, I'm not going to say it. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying told you. Nah, let's take that back. Let's start again. Bitcoin has made a very interesting move to the upside. So what does it all mean? Well, it kind of gave us a clue about this favor. But what I'm going to do tonight is to bring an idea to you. Something that I'm always talking about to effectively help you understand the moves. Nothing's happened in cryptocurrency today to grant this move to the upside. All right, tell a lie. We know that some whale peed on Pdan.eth. He got rid of his maker coin. He's started to sell. He's been liquidated, and that's the only thing that's happened. The Sam Bankman free trial, whatever. Okay, Bitcoin ETF, yeah, okay. But there's nothing that's come out. But if we actually go and look at what's going on in the stock market, then we can add weight to understanding why Bitcoin's moved. You see, a lot of people in crypto need to have news to see Bitcoin move. Like I said to you, once the ETF came out and with all the hype around the ETF, Bitcoin made a move, then it come back down, and then everyone went all quiet about the ETF and nothing has been said. Now it's all starting to come up because there are guys now preparing for the ETF. So now we're going to hear about certain news articles that are coming out talking about the preparation for the ETF. We mentioned Hong Kong yesterday. I'm going to be talking about another one very shortly. Some Ex Cantor traders are starting up a lending platform in preparation for the Bitcoin ETF. So it's not the ETF, it's the preparation for it. I ain't going to be waiting for news to come out for cryptocurrency, to trade cryptocurrency, all right? And that's the problem that we've got. Buy the rumor, sell the news. That's the issue. But in today's live stream, what I'm going to do is break it all down and show you what we were understanding earlier on and how price ended up playing in our favor. We got the daily open, ladies and gentlemen. We got the bonds moving up. We got the NASDAQ moving up. That was a mad move by the NASDAQ. Absolutely phenomenal. And the S&P made two projections today, two trade setups on the S&P and the NASDAQ. And those bad boys came in very fruitful. You got to be careful with the NASDAQ and the S&P. They sometimes like to do a little bit of the smackaroo. So, if you are new to the channel, my name is Tino. Welcome to Traders Reality. I ain't said that in a little while, have I? Let's get with the flavor, man. All right, then. So, good evening, good afternoon. What is good? So, what we got? I'm wearing my Tony Montana outfit. How's that looking? Oh, yes. I know. Don't worry. The doctor's in the room. Dr. Vector, for all of you that do not know. I wear these glasses because it makes it easier for me to monitor the vectors. The glasses served me very well earlier on today, which is why we're going to talk about what happened right here in the live stream earlier on. Yeah, we're talking in hindsight, but we didn't have the move in hindsight. This is when I talk in hindsight. Okay? Remember these ranges here? Do you remember the story that they are building the longs below the key 35,000 zone? Do you remember the Bookmap? How interest is inside of this range down here, how the algorithm nearly got triggered, but it didn't. Where are those orders gone? Where have they gone? Yes, spoofing is a thing in the marketplace. Spoofing is a fake order, all right? They place an order in the order book, they instantly remove it. Is it illegal? It's not that it's illegal, but because it happens so fast, how are you going to say don't do it? All right. That's why markets like the S&P and the NASDAQ, they can effectively get away with it. All right. They can pull an order. It's why we call the pull and the stack in principle, where they're loading up orders, taking orders off. And how do you determine the difference between the two? You just don't know. Okay. But 75% of all the movements that happen in assets are programmed by algorithms. Simple as. All right? Now, if you want to start diving into Ignition Algo and all of that stuff, where the algorithm forces price to a specific point, and the Bookmap will present that to you in the shape of a zigzag diagonal move, you'll then understand that this game is all about the algorithm. Simple as. So, what's the story? Bitcoin makes the beautiful move to the upside. Okay, we wanted the daily open, happy days, projection complete. We gave out a setup on Monday, and it took Bitcoin quite a while to establish this, but it stayed within our respected ranges of the 34,089, and Bitcoin clears the target of 35,983. So, where's that? Right there. Oh, missed it. Forgive me. 35,886. Missed it by $100, but never mind. The projection near enough came true. How did we understand this to be the case? We didn't. We just didn't. We will never know if price is going to do it. But we do have an understanding about how the market works. Okay? Let's go and look at the setup we gave earlier on today. So, from this point in the chart on the NASDAQ, straight after the live stream, just before I went to go pick up my daughter, I shared this trade setup to explain to the guys that with NASDAQ, there is a good chance she's going to try and come down, consolidate, and rip up towards the 15,372. That was my projection for the NASDAQ, okay? We go look at NASDAQ. And before you know it, happy days, NASDAQ came and cleared that 15,372. It actually cleared it towards 15,411. Okay? And it doesn't stop there, ladies and gentlemen. We shared the same thing on the S&P. We wanted the 4,391. We got the 4,391. Okay? So we go over to the S&P right now, and we can check that bad boy out. So where we are? Where we at? There we go. Happy days. So that came through. Now, what was it about this that led me to believe that Bitcoin was going to move up? The S&P was going to move up. What was the story about it? These, ladies and gentlemen, these bad boys right here, the 10-year notes, which is short for T-notes, T-note futures. You know the story. The ultra bonds, the yields, the 10-year Treasury government bonds, they're climbing up. Now, let me explain something. Do you understand how much liquidity is required to move the candle like this? This is on the 1 hour time frame. So much liquidity is required to move this candle, okay? Now, when we go into assets across the board in cryptocurrency, you can see ORDI had $100 million worth of futures opened. $100 million, right? So we just go over to that asset for a split second, just to put it into perspective for you, all right? Look at that mad move, okay? Now, of course, this was on Tuesday, the 7th of November. We're going into the next session, Wednesday, and what have you. But you can see this has moved this asset, like, look, nearly 50%, 100% nearly. $6 in essence, and it's gone to 12, all right? But a move like that on the bond market is huge. So when you start seeing the bonds holding out around the daily open, look at the test of the daily open. Isn't it ironic how the 10-year note futures inside of this range right here is effectively doing the same thing as Bitcoin? So what moved Bitcoin today? Ain't no news, ladies and gentlemen. No news. It was just a nice little flush to the upside. Now we could talk about this bad boy right here. Ex Cantor Executives start a lending platform for anticipated spot Bitcoin ETFs. Now, why are they so eager to do that? They're really saying that they're anticipating the Bitcoin spot ETF to be coming into play. But what's really happening is this. Cantor Fitzgerald is currently being sued by one of the traders, the ex-traders, for $17 million. So, yeah. Are they using spot Bitcoin ETF? You know, yeah, come on, man. They're trying to stick it to these guys. It may serve spot Bitcoin ETFs in the future. It may. Oh, man, I just love it how they do this news announcements and news articles. Anyways, how many of you took advantage of this flavor earlier on today? How many of you understood the logic of price inside of this range today? How many of you understood the logic of the first green vector candle that appears above the 50 EMA that we spoke about last night? Well, we're talking about hindsight now, yeah? How many of you considered the first green vector candle above the 50 EMA? How many of you watched that live last night? If you watched it, congratulations, because the setup came through and through. Yeah? What's the difference between this green vector candle and this green vector candle? This one was already above the 50 EMA. The first green vector candle breaking through the 50 EMA has more conviction from the low than it does from the high. You saw this green vector candle right here, didn't come through. So you already assumed there was weakness. And when you see this, you're only anticipating it to come back and get recovered. It's a false move. You've also got the green vector candle and the blue vector candle zones right here. So you would automatically be mindful of that. But when we actually look at this setup right here, look at the difference between the two ranges. Oh, did you see me doing it last night, ladies and gentlemen? Please go and watch last night's live stream for this logic to make sense. We spoke about it last night, okay? And look what's happened. So you go back in the charts, as I said last night, go back in the charts, look at the structures of the first green vector candle that appears above the 50 EMA. Go back and practice that, then draw off your patterns and your structures. Pay attention to what's going on when it retraces back up and the psychology of them coming back down to trap the retail trader. We already had that logic coming into play earlier on today in the live when we were talking about this zone right here with Bitcoin. Now, what am I suggesting to you? Take profit. Because now we have got this very interesting story right here. We have now got a midpoint of the vector candle. Happy days. So we are going to anticipate that Bitcoin is going to try and come back down towards this range right here. If it comes back down and fully recovers this green vector candle, this move to the upside was just simply a stop run. But people will translate it as, oh my God, Bitcoin, the bull run is starting. Okay, so what would validate Bitcoin's bull run? It needs to break above 36. Finished as. Done. So look at what happened today with the high block. Now a lot of shorts are coming into play. Check this bad boy. Oh my days, come on, there we go. Right, look at this. Come on. And I'm guessing I have to do that again. Man, they got to fix that. So, we were aware of this liquidity pool, okay? Earlier on the setups, where was it? Earlier on, yeah, so based on the interest from the bonds, it's showing me that at some point today, NASDAQ and S&P will make a move higher. No, that's not what I wanted to say. No, it was inside of this one. Here we go. Anticipate Bitcoin to clear the 35,983 region on the backs of everything moving up. The red vector candle failed to attack the 200 EMA and bounce away from it. Well, I've seen this before as a stop run. I can expect them to run prices higher from this point. It took a little while, but they did the move, okay? And that's the thing with the setups that I give. It's not buy here, sell here. It's all about this is the range they're going to move from. This is the range they're going to move towards. I don't know how much money you're going to risk. If you're going to do the correct risk management, you would be able to absorb that. You place your stops, know when you're wrong, and then get out, okay? An example would be on Euro today. So we expected Euro to make a move to the downside, and they missed our target. I'm missing these targets, but so fractionally, right there. I missed it by 3.3 pips when we shared it from this morning all the way at the top side at 107, 105. Okay, so we managed to take advantage of a move in Euro of about 43 pips. That's bloody wonderful. A 43 pip move in Euro. Great, okay? But like I said to you, if you do hold Bitcoin and you've been doing DCA, now would be a good time to try and take some money off the table because you had a pump. Okay, We haven't had the clear break yet, and everyone's now Bitcoin pumping, Bitcoin pumping. Okay, cool, but we have a little bit of a sore thumb. We're going into Powell's speech tomorrow. He's talking to the Division of Research and Statistics Conference in Washington. Okay, Statistics Centennial Aluminium. Yeah, that's what it is. Aluminium. That's one of those ones there. That's aluminium. I don't even know what I'm saying with that bad boy. I don't care. I'm not interested. It's aluminium. Aluminum. Anyways, different story. Forget it. Listen, right? The word aluminium and the word aluminum, all right? So you've got the American Chemistry Society, right? That call it aluminum. But then you have the International Association, which is a little bit higher than the American one that says it should be aluminium. Now, this could spark a debate. Don't get it twisted. But I don't care. I don't care. It's aluminium. Aluminum. Where is LOOM in aluminum? Like, I'm talking about this. LOOM. Aluminum. LOOM network. Where's the LOOM? Ooh. Yeah? All right, cool. We'll finish with that one. Don't even say anything, so I'm not interested. I'm not even looking at chat. I don't care. It's aluminium. All right? Anyways. Ethereal aluminum. Okay. Can you check Marathon? Oh, my stock guys. We had a few good stock movements today. Coinbase going up. Bitcoin going up. All right? Coinbase is forming a good base right now. This is the weekly, all right? And if you're an investor, then there's lots of accumulation happening in Coinbase. If you want to know about the ETF, you pay attention to Coinbase. When Coinbase moves, why? Because there's 864 funds holding this stock, okay? 41% of the stock is held by funds, and 864 funds are actively playing this asset, okay? So they know something. They ain't stupid. They know when this ETF is going to be rolled out. They can't roll it out straight away. Look at the hype behind the actual ETF itself. Look what that did. Moved it up too quick. Mara, going into an earnings per share tomorrow, all right? They're projected to do some decent stuff, but just be very cautious with it. We are expecting it to move higher because selling has actually been below average. Now, I'm going to go on with something else. Look, Bitcoin is now starting to work its way back down. All you guys need to do is pay close attention to the NASDAQ and the S&P in relation to the bonds, okay? Remember, this candlestick requires a lot of liquidity to move, all right? So when you see the bonds trading positive, that's your narrative for the day. Because when they buy bonds, it means they're favoring the government treasuries. What's in the treasuries? How many times do I say it? Lots and lots of liquidity in the treasuries. All right? Now, considering the topic for today, as I said to you all, if you do hold Bitcoin, now will be a good time to try and offload some Bitcoin for some profit. Okay? Tomorrow, we might see a bit of flavor. Chinese CPI, that might bring flavor. But unemployment claims as standard will bring the flavor yet again. All right? So we're going into news announcements now. All right? So we're going into Bailey speaking and Powell speaking. So that's when you're probably going to want to sit on the sidelines. Look at this, man. It's absolutely treacherous. They're bringing it straight back down. Okay? But I will say this to you. Ethereum is doing wonderful. All right? This is consistent with accumulation. Don't get it twisted. But we're seeing sharp recoveries of the vectors, and Ethereum really needs to hold inside of this range. Okay, XRP's just taken a slap, all right? It's moved up to come back down. I would be expecting XRP to try and move higher towards the 75 cents mark once it's done with this BS manipulation inside of this range. But the party is being led by Solana. Now, Solana is showing good promise, okay? Now, if Solana can actually clear this range, that's a very big move, okay? And lots of commitment coming into Solana. So just be mindful of that. It's going to put things into perspective for you on Solana. If we look at its liquidations on all the guys that were like, yeah, screw Sam Bankman-Fried, let's short this bad boy. They've just already tapped around $680 million worth of short liquidations in Solana, all right, at 45 cents, $45, right? Let's go to the 6-month chart. There's still a little bit more liquidity, $1.5 billion worth of short liquidations at $45.61. So these are very important areas to take into consideration. Going into the year chart itself, you can see, man, they've been gunning for this liquidity. We got top side. Yeah, 46 looks like it's the top side of the move. Go to 2 years when we consider what happened before. I mean, look at that. $4.5 billion worth of short liquidations at $209, man. All right. Look at this beautiful liquidity that they can go and attack. Even if they move up to $100, it's $3.6 billion right there. And that's actually 105. So a little bit of a mad one. Let's go look at Bitcoins for a second. Hold on. Let's put things into perspective on the 2-year chart. Now, this is futures, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, futures are treacherous. Look at this. Comes down, spikes up. Comes down, liquidity grab, comes down, moves away. They've just eaten at 32,800, $218 billion worth of short liquidation. Slap across the face. We've got one more zone right here, which would validate the 40K mark, which will be 36,400, which will take us to $143 billion worth of short liquidations. That's nothing to shy from, all right? That's a nice little stack of retail traders' liquidity on margin. So keep that in your minds. Bitcoin coming down to a very, very critical point, ladies and gentlemen. I am sorry, but nothing much is happening. You know, this is standard routine with Bitcoin, okay? It's going to make a move up. It's going to make a move down. And this is what I like, right? Look at how they've been doing it over the last couple of weeks, okay? Spike up, comes down, holds the range. Spike up, down, up and down. These are great day trading opportunities, okay? But for the holder, he's getting effectively, I mean, the guy who's doing DCA, of course, he's going to be loading up his longs as it drops, and then he's going to be assuming that he's going to be closing it as it's moving back up. But now he's waiting for this 36 zone to be taken, all right? Now, if the bonds continue to move up, ladies and gentlemen, and Bitcoin's good to go. That's the truth. If bonds keep moving up, because Bitcoin is clearly following the stock market. Some of you might not like that, but that's the truth. NASDAQ and S&P move up aggressively today. Bitcoin moves up. You know, that's the basis of it all. So, Tino, look at the 4-hour Bitcoin chart. We're getting that flavor they might move it higher in Asia. All they've done is recover the vector so far on the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame on the vector candle region. Violet vector candle has 1 hour and 37 minutes to stay as a violet vector candle. Look left. What do you see? After, the thing is, this green vector candle come into play, then they initiated the stop run, then this candle came, then the violet vector came. We've got the violet vector candle right now, okay? If this candlestick can turn into a red vector candle, that would then be consistent with green candle, red candle formation, which principally is a move back up, okay? Just go back in the charts, ladies and gentlemen, and go and find where you see candlesticks, red candle, red candle formation. Can you see it? That bad boy right there. Take the criteria. Top side of the move, come back down. Can stay within the midpoint of the vector candle. Red vector candle, you're going to assume they're going to recover it. Yeah, Bitcoin chops about and what have you. But then they fully recover that range, and then they just make a wonderful move to the upside. Oh, we got the same shit right here. Look at this. Okay. Now, this is a violet vector candle, though. I would have preferred it to be a red vector candle. It's consistent with a continuation. If you see this at the lows, you better snap that bad boy up, because you're effectively grabbing what would appear to be the low of whatever time frame you are trading or the session. Okay? Go back and trade this. Go back and train your eyes to see it. This is another one of those green vector candles above the 50 EMA. It's happening right there. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude tonight's live stream, if you do hold Bitcoin and you're getting a bit excited about the whole flavor about the ETF, I don't blame you. Everyone's favoring higher prices. But keep an eye on the bonds, all right? Because the bonds require a lot of money to move them. And if they're putting their money into the bonds, that means the yields are going down. That means the stock market is going to climb up. That means Coinbase is going to go up. Mara's going to go up, okay? Or Riot's going to go up. ClearSpark is going to go up. Bitcoin is going to go up because people are buying. Now, we know smart money is selling, but how long are they going to be selling for? Any of the retraces down are going to be then recovered to the move back up. Remember, we've got high interest rates. We've got high inflation. Powell wants to increase the interest rates. Remember what we said at the FOMC. Any moves from now to the upside is the marketplace pricing in the idea that the Fed's going to pause, which it has done, but maybe increase the interest rates in December. Okay? They think that December could be the point that they stop. But no Fed pivot has been declared just yet. Mad love and respect, ladies and gentlemen. Go check out tradersreality.com if you want to become a member and get some flavor, some trade setups. And I'll be checking in with you all tomorrow for the New York Live. Take care of yourselves, gang. Peace.